What is up, all my chosen ones? Jazz Royce back now, guys. I know it's been really shaky in the markets, but take a look at what Volt has going on, baby. Another tier 1 exchange that makes the second one in such a short amount of time, guys, despite how the conditions are looking. Not only that, guys, but this exchange, Bittrex, just listed Shiba 2 months prior. Do you believe me now when I say that we are following in Shiba's steps? Now, before we begin, guys, please do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, guys. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of info that we share. So, guys, looking at the Volt chart, we had just finished having a 24-hour 0% tax on any buys that you did, and people definitely took advantage of that. On top of that, we also got the rates 0.75, which is good because, man, people were really on edge about what if they would have raised it by 100. It would have been, oh, I didn't want to imagine. But despite how things are looking, guys, Volt is still holding the line over a $50 million market cap. And I know some people are wondering, well, we know we're getting all these tier 1 exchanges, this and that, but I still see the price sitting the same. What's the point of this? What's the hype behind this? Well, guys, it's all about planting the seeds. You see, this is where the rewards happen. See, as the market is in its bear and volatile state, Volt is continuously pushing, not just on regular exchanges, but on top tier 1 exchanges as the days go on, barely even weeks apart from one another. This is very important because we are almost at 40 different exchange listings. And what you need to understand is that when the markets start to come back around, the hype starts to rally again and things start to shape up, a lot of people are going to be trying to type in and find what's the next Dogecoin, what's the next Shiba coin, the people that don't know much about DeFi. And the likelihood of Volt popping up on their radar is increasingly getting bigger and bigger. You see, the more exchanges that we're on, the more accessible Volt is to anybody, because let's be honest, not everyone is hip to using Uniswap and then transferring it to one exchange to the next. It's a complicated process. It's like muscle memory. You got to exercise until you get used to it. Most people don't have the time for that, especially these big institutions that we know have the money to take us to those high multi-billion-dollar range that we know we're destined for. It needs to be as accessible as possible for them. They want to get straight to the butter and milk of what's going on and how to get their money in. And Volt is making it easier and easier. So when you see other projects talking about they don't need exchanges, they don't need funds, they don't need to do marketing, I shy away from those projects because Volt, to me, is setting the gold standard of other future projects to come out in the DeFi space and just exemplify everything, man. Like the amount of partnerships that we have, the amount of people that I'm constantly seeing talking about Volt now, it's just getting amazing. I mean, look right over here, guys. One Goon Rich himself tweeted about Volt last night. Volt, $1 billion market cap soon. This was out the blue. And just like that, why would they list Shiba and then shortly after that they list Volt? Think about all the other coins that are out there, but it's Volt that they gravitated towards. This is a top tier exchange in the US on top of that. So guys, we have this down pat. We got Gate.io down pat. What do you think's up next? The doors are all open, guys. Like I said, when we got into Gate.io, that was an example of the door opening up to now the bigger exchanges, and all the big dogs out there in this space are now having their eyes on Volt. And this is what we want, guys. We want the momentum to be building as it is. Look at the state of the markets. Let's go really quick. Straight red, right? I think it would have been worse if it was a higher rate that we saw. But despite how it's looking, look at how Volt's hanging. The proof is in the pudding, folks. If you ask my personal opinion, guys, I think 100x for Volt at the least is definitely possible, and not too long from now either, because that's putting us at a 5 billion market cap range. That's still 100x from where everyone is at right now, myself included, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited even just to see a 10x from here is only going to put us in the 500 million mark. And even Adam Shelton, shout out to him as well, took the time out to compliment the Volt army, saying that he remembers the early days, the GOATs themselves, the legendary men. Shout out to both of these guys, man. Pablo Crow and Power and a few others were one of the only ones that were in Volt at the time. And now this thing will grow over $1 billion market cap and beyond, in his opinion. And in my opinion as well, then we have a response right over here saying Volt will definitely be 1 billion and beyond, blue chip in the making. Guys, the proof is in the pudding. We just have to play it patient. We just have to not fill our minds up too much with what's going on in the space, because then you're going to feel tempted to make a decision that you're probably going to regret when the bulls come back out to play. If you can afford to do so, continue increasing that position. Obviously not financial advice, just giving my opinion. If you're in a position like me, you already did what you had to do and now you're just sitting back and letting it ride and just hanging on for the ride. Hey, sit back in peace, enjoy the ride, and let's keep championing for the wealth that's in store for all of us, guys. So with that being said, folks, I'm Jazz Royce. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We're going to go continue monitoring Vault, man. I'm watching this project all the time on Twitter, man. I don't even check my wallet. I check my wallet probably once a week or so, if that. And it's not even my main wallet that I hold my vaults in either. So that lets you know that this particular investment is definitely a special one that is sitting tucked in the vault. All right. So I will catch each and every one of you guys at the top.